Good morning, Card Beauties. RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 1988, the Fleer Award Winners card. Um, Interestingly about this card, it obviously shows him holding a trophy of some sort. It says here, Big Stick Award by Rawlings. That's who gave it to him, Mike Schmidt. Says he was the active National League home run king. Um, and just seeing him hold up this trophy, it reminds me of the fact that if you're an elite sport personality of any sport, but you're the elite, you're constantly getting these awards and trophies and certificates and plaques and all kinds of stuff. You got to wonder what is his trophy room like. Now, I believe a lot of these people actually give away some of the trophies or sell them, put them up for the auction and get rid of them because there's too much room and they don't mean as much to them as other trophies or whatever. I'm not saying that of Mike Schmidt. I'm just saying, you come across some of these awards from former players um, in auction houses once in a while, and I assume that's what happened. They sold them because they didn't want them around their house anymore. How many of these crazy awards did Mike get? How many of these crazy awards did Nolan Ryan get? I remember seeing all kinds of pictures of Babe Ruth's crazy awards that he got all in his career. But just made me think the Rawlings Big Stick Award. I mean, how many insane trophies and plaques and things like that do these guys get in their career? It's got to be phenomenal. Today's random baseball item of the day. Kind of an odd card to show off, but there's a reason behind it. 1991 Mike Lieberthal, first round draft pick card. This essentially is Mike Lieberthal's rookie card. This is from 1991 Topps, obviously. Um, he was a longtime Phillies catcher. Um, I don't know if he's actually made the Phillies Wall of Fame yet, but anyway, the reason I picked this one up is because I didn't have a free one. I didn't have a loose one. I only have the one in my set. And I can't find it on the bay graded. I can't find a graded copy on the bay anywhere. And I'm trying to get a full run of the PSA set registries all-time great Phillies, and this card is one of those cards. So I had to pick it up off the bay raw, the best copy I could find. I mean, this is going to grade like an 8 or a 7. It's very off-centered that way, you can see. So, I mean, I'll get an 8 or a 7 out of it, but I got to have it graded in order to complete my run. So I ended up picking that off the bay. So, anyway, today's trivia question, in keeping with the theme this week, um, former players who are not in the Hall of Fame but have won an MVP award. So, who is this former player who is an MVP winner? This guy. This guy wearing the uniform of the team that he played for when he won his MVP award, not necessarily in the 50s. This is simply a card from the TCMA 1950s stars. But who is this person? He won an MVP award uh, in baseball. What is his name? That is your question. What you playing for? Similarly as all week. 5 awesome cards from the 1987 high grade, all baseball's all-time greats. You got Ernie Banks, Bill Dickey, Gabby Hartnett, Willie Mays, and Pie Trainer. So some awesome players for you if you like your Hall of Fame cards. That's what you're playing for. Just shoot me an email with an answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of the question you will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody there. Now, today, really short thing. I have been on a quest. Let me put it this way. I'm continuously on a quest, to get copies of the all-time great sets ever. Literally the all-time greatest sets ever produced. But members of the Philadelphia Phillies who appeared in those sets. I've shown off an old Judge card. I have an 1800s era Allen and Ginter card of a Philly player. I got T206s, T205s. I've got cards from the 1913 baseball game set. Again, I'm trying to get all the legendary sets and showing off a Phillies player. And I recently added two more to my collection. Let's take a look at these two. They are SGC graded. Doesn't matter for vintage. There really is no premium PSA over SGC when you get into the old school vintage cards. But here is from 1912 a T201 Hassan cigarettes, what we call a triple folder. This one here has Hans Lobert. Love me a Hans Lobert. He's a great guy. It's him right here. Put the tag on the runner. I'll show that in a minute. Hans Lobert was prominently featured in the Lawrence Ritter book, Glory of Their Times, and the audio version, which I highly recommend you guys listen to the audio version. It's like a really long CD, but you can get it off your Apple Tunes, iTunes, or whatever these days. Everything's digitally available, and I have the digital version. I listen to it often. Hans Lobert is prominently featured. The other guy, Charles Dewin. It's funny, the Phillies had a bunch of guys, Dewin, Doolan. They had a whole bunch of guys. This is Dewin, Dooin. Those are the two people featured on the front. And on the back, there is their bio. Like the Lobert, if you cut these things off, you get the Lobert and the Dewin as separate cards. And some people did cut these off. If you cut them off, the front would kind of look like the T205 gold border, but obviously it doesn't have a gold border, so you would know, plus of the cut. And then the center, sometimes you'll see this center picture by itself graded. I'm not sure who would ever want to buy that. It defeats the whole purpose. But anyway, shows you here that he was tagging out Gene Tenney in a game. Don't know if Tenney was a giant or what, but really cool card. Nice little explanation on the back. It's only graded a SGC 30, good 2. It's got a very prominent crease down the middle. I'm trying to get the sun to show it. I don't know if it's going to show up for you, but there's a serious crease right here, and obviously the corners are certainly rounded after all these years. But that is my T202 Mecca triple folder. I'm sorry, not Mecca triple, Hassan triple folder. I got Mecca on my mind because the other one I want to show off from 1911, the T201 Mecca cigarette double folder. And everybody, if you're a vintage card collector, you know these. Has Hans Lobert on the front. Actually kind of shows him more in the Cincinnati Reds, because that, you look in there, that looks like a Cincinnati Reds logo, although it shows him as a Philly. And on the back, you have Earl Moore, also the Phillies. And this was made so that you can see the seam right there, or the crease. This back portion would fold down, and Earl Moore's upper body would end up down here, and it'd show him kind of like bending over to field the throw, but he'd be on Hans Lobert's legs down there. Cool concept, and most of these have the fold already folded. Somebody had taken the time to fold it over and take a look and see what it looked like. But this is my very first Mecca card. So again, I'm just trying to add to my collection Philly cards of some of the greats sets. These are not necessarily greats of baseball. Nobody pictured on here is quote unquote a great of baseball, although Hans Lobert has a longer history, I think, than some of the other guys in the game. But just really cool cards. Happy to add them to my collection. So that's all I have for you. If you'd like that, if you enjoyed that, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. And then come back again on Sunday for the trivia recap. That's all I have for you this week. Come back again next week for more. Thanks for watching. Take care.